Today's subject is the duration in Egypt of Israel people is equal to 400 or 430 years. According to Genesis chapter 15, verse 13, it said, "Then the Lord said to him, Abraham, know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in country not their own." Now, this strange country is, should be, Egypt, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. Now, Abraham said to, Jehovah said to Abraham, they're going to be there 400 years, okay? But in Genesis chapter 12, verse 14, the time that Israelites had lived in Egypt was 430 years. Why this is different? One said, 400, another one said 430 years. When I read, Bible, and Bible is, very wide and taking a long time to finish reading, and I don't know, somebody read once then understand everything, but not to me. When I read Old Testament and the New Testament about 10 times, then I may be able to see some part. Okay, this is interconnected. This New Testament, Old Testament, and Old Testament. All the interconnection. I may be able to see it a little bit. For instance, when I read Job didn't do anything wrong. Why he has to suffer? But when I read, first time, this is very unfair. If I happen to me, then hey, what's wrong with this? Then, when I read, then wait a second. Job didn't do anything wrong, but suffer. Now, I thought this is the model for Job, is model for Jesus Christ, who had not any kind of a fault, but must suffer at the cross. So this Job is model of Jesus Christ. Then, this makes sense. Then, I was extremely happy, and the joy at the time, from the heart is, wow, I found something new. But this 400 and 430 years, I could not figure out. And of course, then it was 1990 at the time, and we didn't have a computer like this time. We may have a computer, but I don't know how to use it. And now we just put Googling, then it shows everything now. However, at the time, 1990, and we don't have that kind of system like these days. The only one is, certain books, most of them like, a pastor or reverend, read. And then, I got that book, and then it was, given by gift by my, my pastor at the time. Then he asked me, "Don't call me anymore. You just read this book. This is the we read, okay?" So when I read, all the verses, then, on the bottom, there was, all the remark in the comment there, then, yes, I could understand a lot, because of that book. However, there are many things that, I cannot figure out. So sometimes I call my pastor, and he told me, sometimes answer, but that was not clear to me. It's just not black and white to me. All the time it's the gray, and sometimes it's, what's wrong with this? That was most of the time. Now, at the time, this is what I understood at the time. Okay, the Bible, it has no fault at all whatsoever, flawless. Why then 400 equal to 430 years? And then I meditate for a long time. Then I came to, this idea came to my mind. Wait a second. The total duration in Egypt, 430 years, is correct. Then why God said to Abraham 400 years? Because, this is my interpretation at the time, while governor, prime minister Joseph lived for 30 years, they could not be mistreated at the time. Oh, now this can, solve the issue. Because, total years is 430 years, but, while Joseph was a prime minister, they don't have to be mistreated. I solved the issue. I was so happy about that. Then, wait a second. Is that really, what Joseph was 30 years? That's questionable, that the Bible didn't say it. So I thought I solved the problem, but, it's not 100% either. Now, this is my question. The Israelites that came to Egypt in order to escape drought for 7 years. Then after 7 years, they should go back to the place where they come from. They should be that way. But they didn't. And on the top of that, when I read Exodus, Israel people was not slaved all 400 years. Maybe, while, according to Exodus, when Moses born, around that time, they may be enslaved, according to the Exodus. That's my feeling. Now, so therefore, enslaved 430 years or 400 years is questionable to me. Now, all those kind of meditation or my interpretation right now is useless. Why? The Prime Minister Joseph must be hero who saved Egypt. He's a hero. This hero must be recorded in history. Unfortunately, there is no record about Joseph. But they found out still called real person, Imhotep. And according to Imhotep, still there are drought 7 years, and supposed to be a Nile River must be flooded. Then all kinds of soil come, and then all kinds of crop can grow well. But because of drought, no flooding, so for 7 years become bad harvest. But Imhotep said after that 7 good years. Those stories are opposite. So Prime Minister Joseph is just a fiction. It's not true history. About Moses too. Moses is not real person. It is just a figure of somebody's like Sargon, Akkad, king Sargon. His story is used for Moses. I thought Exodus is history. Unfortunately, it's not history, not his story. It's just a story. It's not true story. Thank you so much for your watching.